Life is full of moments. Happy moments, exciting moments, difficult moments. This year's show, In Times Of, is about those moments. It's about times of innocence, when we don't know what's coming next, but we're so excited to get started. It's about times of struggle, when the obstacles just keep piling up in front of us and we're not sure we can get to the other side of it. It's about times of loss. Loss of a loved one, loss of a family member. And at the end, it's about times of reflection, when we look back at the moments in our lives and try to stitch it together into a story. This year's show is based on those moments, but instead of focusing just on our personal stories, I wanted to anchor the show in a common story, a story based on historical events that many of us lived through, events that changed our lives, both for good and for ill. I'm David Hamilton, and I'm the composer of In Times Of. In this video, I'm going to talk about that story, our shared story, and how that influenced the music as I was writing it. In Times of Innocence, I looked back at the 1980s and 90s. I remember 1985 when We Are the World came out on the radio and Live Aid was held all over the world. Pop stars, superstars, raising money to try to cure hunger in Africa. I remember the introduction of the first Macintosh computer, which blew our minds, and the first launches of the space shuttle to fix the Hubble telescope, which gave us amazing views of the universe. There was a sense of optimism and excitement about what could come next. In times of struggle, two huge events changed our lives. The first was the school shooting in Columbine High School. Up to that point, school had always seemed like a safe place, and now we had to wonder what the next day or the next month would bring, whether this kind of violence would show up at our doorsteps. The other huge event was the attack on 9/11, and these attacks shook us to our core. It seemed during this time, from the late 1990s through the 2000s and the 2010s, there were so many moments of war and tragedy, so many conflicts here at home and across the world. It was a time of struggle for all of us. Times of loss. The coronavirus epidemic changed the world.
U.S. death toll from the virus has surpassed 100 people.
20,000.
46,000.
150,000.
200,000.
400,000 people have now died from COVID-19.
In a moment, we went from having our regular daily routines, seeing our friends, going to school, going to work, and all that shut down suddenly. There were so many questions. We didn't know what tomorrow would bring. We didn't know how to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. We lost the chance to see our friends, see our families. Many of us lost loved ones, lost family members. There was so much loss during that time, and I think many of us are still trying to recover from it. The final part of our show is a time of reflection. It's important to reflect at the end of an experience, but it's also important to reflect as we go through life, to look at the moments of innocence and struggle and loss, and try to stitch them together into a story that makes sense. What's our shared story? What have these events added up to for us? And what's our personal story? Yours, mine. How do they add up? What do those stories tell us? And how can we learn from those as we move forward? I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive in our show, In Times Of. If you'd like to learn more about the musical time, or learn about the secret level, click on the links in the description.